What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. So for today's look, I thought I'd create a New Year's Eve look in case you guys are going out on a date night or a party, whatever the occasion is, or even just like, I know a lot of you guys still have Christmas parties going on after the New Year's. So I thought I'd give you guys one more look for the holidays. So if you guys want to recreate this look, just keep watching. Okay guys, jumping right in, we're going to go in with the Juice Beauty moisturizer, and we're going to just apply that throughout our whole entire face. Make sure that our face is nicely moisturized so that the makeup applies nicely and evenly. Oh, and guys, I just want to apologize in advance. I am very stuffy and my voice is just off. I am getting sick. Ugh, I hate it. This flu is horrible. But anyways, going in with a Morphe's eyelid primer, and you're just going to apply that throughout your lids of your eyes. This primer is very great, especially for the Morphe palettes. It really intensifies the colors that you are using so that you don't have to keep adding and adding color to make the actual color that you are using appear brighter or darker. Going in with e.l.f.'s poreless primer, and you're just going to apply that on your T-zone and possibly all over your face if you need to. I think that's what I do. This primer is absolutely amazing, honestly. I love it, and it's very, very inexpensive. It's like $8. Next, we're gonna do the Line and Define eye tapes by e.l.f. And we're just gonna apply those on the corners of our eyes like so, and just kind of like adjust them where they line up from like the corner of your eye to the corner of the eyebrow. And then if you need to, obviously peel and remove it where you need it. And this is just gonna give you a nice, clean, like crisp line, like perfect. I hate being so stuffy, guys. This is horrible. And then you're just going to go in with a concealer. I'm using the LA Pro Girl, and I'm just gonna apply that all over my lid. Just gonna give myself a base. Then I'm just going to go in and grab a small blending brush, and I'm just gonna blend all the concealer all out. You can use a beauty blender if you need to. I'm just using this just because it's smaller and it's easier to get into the smaller corners. And I'm sure it's just like what was right there in front of me. Next, I'm going in with Jaclyn Hill's Dark Magic palette. I have used this palette before in a different tutorial, so if you guys want to check that out, I'm gonna link that in the description bar below. And then I'm just gonna go in and grab that light brown shade and use that as my transition color, and I'm just gonna start in small circles, and I'm gonna start closest to the tape and just work my way out because I kind of want to give it that fade effect. So you want your darkest to be towards the tape and then kind of fade out. This is a blending technique, and it's just, think about it as shading, coloring, and just keep working. Start slowly and small and just keep applying as you need to. If you need it to be darker, just go in and dab some more color, and again start from the corner of the eye and work your way in towards the inner eye corner. And then I'm just going to go in and do the same thing to the other eye. And then just kind of work yourself back and forth, because I know that sometimes you're like, this eye is perfect and this eye isn't. So just kind of, or one's lighter, one's darker. So just kind of keep working your way. Remember, nothing is perfect. No eye is perfect. You have one eye that's bigger than the other. So don't try to be all perfect. You know, just try to get it as close as you can. Then I'm gonna go in and dip into the darker brown color in there. And again, start from the outer corner and work your way to the inner corner. And this time I grabbed a smaller eyeshadow brush just to kind of get that defined line. And everything I'm doing, I'm keeping it above the crease line. So I'm not going to apply anything on the lid. Everything is just above the crease. And I'm using that bone as like my guideline. And again, darker color on the outer eye corner, and just keep blending and blending. And I definitely do go in back and forth with the other brush that I use for the transition color. That helps you blend more. So going in with two different brushes, the brush that you use for the lighter color and the brush that you're using for the darker color. I know it sounds confusing, but try it, do it. It definitely works. You see how it's just becoming more seamless. And again, it's not something that's going to happen like with so many swipes. You have to keep going and making sure that it's nicely blended, flipping the brush in different eye corners. If you have to brush the brush off, go ahead and do so. Then go in and do the same steps on the other eye. And now dipping my brush into the black color into this palette. And again, starting on the outer eye corner and working your way in, making sure you stay above the crease. If you are using this palette, you don't have to. You can just use any of these colors. These are neutral colors. You can find these in almost every palette. But if you are using this palette, I can definitely say that start in small. Make sure you tap the access off, because the black is very dark. So you want to make sure you're working with little bits at a time and not going in with so much, because then the blending process is going to be twice as hard. And then I go in and grab this bigger fluffy eyeshadow brush, and this is just to kind of blend and mesh everything all together at the same time. But you want to make sure that there is no product on that brush, because you don't want to, you want to give it a fade effect. Remember, you don't want to bring any of that dark color straight to the eyebrow or anything. That would be a huge no-no. Then obviously go back in with the other brushes just to give yourself a nice blend. Then I'm going to go in back with the LA Pro concealer, and I'm just going to apply a little bit of that on my hand. Then I'm going to dip that means I am going to dip it into the concealer, and now I'm applying this on my lid. But you want to do this part slowly because you only want to keep it on the lid, and you want to cut that crease. Meaning separate from the lid and the part and above the crease. So the part that you were blending. So you want to make a nice crisp line in between the two. And again, don't grab too much of the concealer because you are not going to want to try to work with a huge mess. So grab a little bit of a time and work your way slowly and just cut that crease, girl. And remember, what you do to one eye, you do it to the other. All right, and now when that is all set and done, I'm going to pick up that palette and I'm going to dip my brush into the silver glittery shade that's in here. And I am going to dip another flat brush in, and I'm going to apply that all over my lid on top of the concealer. Then if you want to go in and intensify that color on the lid, go in with a setting mist, setting spray, wet your brush, dip it back into that color, and apply it on your lid. You're going to see that it comes out much more brighter. Then I'm going to go in back with the brown shade, and I'm just going to go in and intensify my crease line a little bit, blend it out a little bit more, going back in and doing the same steps that I did before, because remember, you want to just keep everything clean. So see how that really cleaned out the line and separated the two? Then I'm going to go in with my NYX liquid liner and I'm just going to go and wing it out. And once you're satisfied with the shadow and everything and your liquid liner, go ahead and peel that stick out and then kind of like fill in the sparse empty lines with the liquid liner and kind of slowly touch up anything you need to. Oh, mom life. Do you see how nice and crisp those corners are? Now you have a nice clean eyeshadow cut. Now for me, here comes the easy part. Eyeshadow is always my hardest, um, but I love foundation. So here I'm going in with MAC's foundation and I'm going to apply that because this is not a full coverage. This is kind of like a light to medium coverage. I go back in with the L'Oreal full coverage foundation and I love this one. Again, it is very inexpensive. So is MAC's. Don't be mistaken, MAC is not an expensive brand. It's not your average $55 bottle foundation or $60 and up. It's literally only like $25 to $30 foundation. And then you have your L'Oreal drugstore, which is like $10, $12 depending which bottle you're using. And then I just go in with the beauty blender and I just blend that all out. Then I go in back with the LA Girl, I had a brain fart, LA Girl Pro Concealer, and I apply that under my eye, on my nose, my chin, and between my eyebrows. Then obviously go in and blend that out. Then going in with Kat Von D's translucent powder. And I'm just going to go in and apply that underneath my eyes and anywhere I place the concealer. I first apply it with the brush, then I go back in with the beauty blender and start baking those areas by applying a crap load under my eyes. And then I cut out the cheekbone area. Going in with Benefits bronzer Hoola, and I'm just going to bronze up the cheeks, the forehead, and then the neck area. And then I'm going to go in with a smaller bronzing brush, contour brush, and I'm going to define the same areas using the same bronzer, just going to deepen it up a little bit. So again, the cheeks, the forehead, the neck, the nose. Now I'm going to go in and dust off the under eye translucent powder and the translucent powder that I placed underneath the cheekbones. Going in with Elf's blush. I'm going to link down all the things that I've used, and I'm going to link them down in the description bar below so that you guys know exactly what colors I used. Elf's blushes are very good. They're just very pigmented, so like as you saw, just lightly dip your brush and dust off the excess and blend just so that you don't have like a line of blush. Right here, I'm just taking that bronzer brush again and I'm just defining the areas, just blending everything. This step is optional. I like to just go over this so that, like everything just meshes together seamlessly. My daughter hasn't really been feeling well, so as you can see, I'm going to attempt to do my brows holding her, and surprisingly, I did really good. So again, I'm just dipping into the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. It's my holy grail. I absolutely love this product, and I will always use this product unless somebody shows me something that's better. And if you do know something that's just as good, leave it down in the comments down below. I do know some options of drugstore that are really good, like the NYX and the Elf. The only thing is it's very, how do you call it, like waxy. So with that, it you have to really set it afterwards and make sure you set it very well. I find that if I use the Anastasia, it lasts me all day. But if I use the NYX, I have to kind of retouch it up because, some parts are melting off because I do tend to have oily skin sometimes. And then I'm gonna go in and just brush them out to just give a fade effect. And then I'm just gonna go in again with that concealer and just clean up the underneath the brows just to really define my brows and just clean up any excess, make them a little bit more even. Do you guys see like the difference that it makes just cleaning up your brows? Um, you don't always have to do this step. I just think that this step is a really good idea to do just because it just makes everything look clean and seamlessly, if that's the word. Next, I'm using the Anastasia highlight palette and I'm using the color Bubbly. I really don't have a white highlight that I feel like is good. Everything is more on the gold tone. So again, if you guys know any, please link them down in the comments. I am definitely willing to buy a perfect highlight that's like white and less gold. I do have one in the Morphe palette, but I feel like that leaves like a purple undertone. So just highlight above the cheekbone, a little bit on the forehead, the tip of the nose, and I slightly do the bridge of my nose as well, and definitely the Cupid's bow. That definitely makes your like lips pop and make them give it a little bit more dimension, like you have bigger lips. Then going in with MAC's lip liner edge to edge. I thought I'd give this look like a little bit of pop of pink. Pink is definitely a color you can use in springtime, wintertime. This lip liner I love because it almost looks like the color or the shade of your lips. Then going in with MAC's Honey Love lipstick, and this is more like a nude color, and I absolutely love this combo together because this lipstick has like a peachy pinky undertone, so I think these colors go well together. They definitely complement each other. Then I'm going in with my MAC's press powder, and I'm going to use a flat brush, and I'm just going to press all that in, really setting my makeup. And this is not a translucent powder. You can use a translucent powder, but this one is more of the color of my skin tone. Again, just to mesh everything together. Then I'm going to go in with Orenda Beauty's lashes. These lashes I absolutely love. Like the wisp of them is absolutely perfect. I love the flare. It's not too much. And it's just, it gives like the perfect. And I love how like when you put them on, you'll see like the separation. You can, it doesn't hide the color of the silver glitter. It just everything looks really good. It complements each other. I love the lashes. They're not so thick, so you see how like you can see in between, like that wisp is just so perfect. I hope I'm making sense. Going in with Maybelline's mascara, and I'm just going to push up and blend my actual lashes with the lashes. This actually helps them stick together too. And don't you guys just hate when your mascara gets on your face after you've done your makeup? It's like, what the heck? So here's a little tip. Just let that area dry, and then once it's dry, you can just flake it off with your fingernail or whatnot. You can just, wipe it off if you want to. And then just go back in with a beauty blender and just pat, 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 blend, mixing everything together. Again, just pressing everything into the skin. As you can tell, I'm just still letting that dry, and it's not going to dry because I just added some, setting spray. But you see how, and then I just went in with back like the foundation brush and kind of just meshed everything together, added some highlight. Alright guys, and that's it for today's video. Please subscribe if you are not subscribed already. Hit the bell button so that you're notified each and every time I upload a video. If you guys love this video, please consider giving a big thumbs up. And any comments, guys, don't be afraid to leave them down below. And that's it, guys. If I don't see you guys till next time, have a blessed new year. Bye, guys.